who are we according to the Bible as of a people? Because if I was to ask everybody in here their nationality, because every nation has a nationality, right? Everyone has an ethnic background. So if I was to ask everyone in here their nationality, 9 times out of 10, most quote-unquote black people, they would say, well, I'm African American, I'm black, I'm Negro. You know, we give things like that. But that's not the truth according to the scriptures. So this is why you see this chart right here. This is called the 12 tribes of Israel chart. Now this chart right here is pointing out who the 12 tribes are today. So right here, because I'm going to get into the scriptures too. But this chart right here, these are the 12, these will be the 12 tribes of Israel today in modern times. Like the African Americans, what we'll call African Americans, but according to the Bible, we were called Jews or Judites. This is who we are. But we have forgotten our history along the time. So in the Bible, you got West Indian Negroes, which are basically known as Jamaicans. The Jamaicans in the Bible, back a long time ago, nobody was saying Jamaican in the Bible. They were saying Benjamites. Nobody was saying Negro, black people in the Bible. They were saying Judites. No one was saying Haitians in the Bible. They were saying Levites. So Moses was a Levite. His brother was a Levite. So Moses today, if he was still living, he would be a modern day Haitian. That's what he would be. See, this information has been lost down the line. And the government, don't look for the government to tell you anything, because if anything, the last thing the government is going to do is tell you the truth. They're not going to tell you the truth because they don't want you to know your nationality. They want to keep you in darkness. So anyways, let's keep on going. According to the Bible, the Dominican Republic, the Dominicans would be known as Simeon. Guatemala to the Panamanian Canal, they would be known as Zebulun. Puerto Ricans today, or Puerto Rico, they would be known as Ephraim. You see right here, Cubans, they would be known as Manasseh. Native American Indians, Choctaw, Chickasaw, Cherokee, Blackfoot, all these Indians, they would be known as the tribe of Gad in the Bible. The Reubenites, which is the Seminole Indians down in the Everglades of Florida. That's why you got a team in Florida called Florida Seminoles. The Seminole Indians of today would be what you would call Reubenites, Reuben. And then as you see also Argentina to Chile, which is Naphtali or Naphtali. And then you see Colombia to Uruguay, which is the southern part of Brazil, Asher, and also today as so-called Mexico. They call it Mexico, or what you call Hispanic or Mexican peoples. The Mexicans today, according to the 12 tribes, biblical historical, they would be called Issacharites. So you say, look at that Mexican over there. No, they didn't say that like that in the Bible. They said, look at that Issacharite. They didn't, oh, look at that Negro over there, that black man. No, they said, look at that Jew. Look at it. You get what I'm saying? Look at that West Indian or that Jamaican. No, they said Benjamin. They didn't say Haitian. They said Levi. So these are the names that we have totally forgotten. But it's the reason why we have forgotten this information is because we as the people did something wrong. Now, you don't supposed to, what this information that I'm giving you, you don't supposed to know this, that the names that we are called, these are proverbs and bywords. We shouldn't be called these names. We should be called our biblical names. But nobody knows. How can the blind lead the blind? Nobody knows. So, hey man, that's a black guy. That's not a black guy. First and foremost, we're not even black. Look at your skin. We different shades of brown. So you can't say that we are black people. This is black. Black is a color. It's not a nation. You can't define my nationality by a color. So if you say, oh, I'm a black guy, you can't define my nationality by a color. You know, we say white people. There's no white person the color of this right here. You get what I'm saying? So who are they? What's the biblical names for the nationalities of today? That's what I'm trying to explain. So I went over the 12 tribes. So basically, you can sum the whole 12 tribes up as blacks, Hispanics, and what you call Native Americans. Blacks, Hispanic, the people of Negro and Indian descent will make up the 12 tribes of Israel today.